Welcome to the Van Ryn Compliance Podcast with Rob and Dawn. We help growing teams reduce risks, build trust, and stay audit ready without the overwhelm.
Welcome back to the Van Ryn Compliance Podcast. I'm Rob.
And I'm Dawn.
And Dawn, we're going to continue a little bit of a book of the Van Buskirks, or the Van Ryns, as some people call.
Yes.
Because last week, we talked about sending Ethan off to college. And this week, what are we going to talk about this week?
This week is our anniversary.
It is.
Another big milestone in our life.
Yep. We're going to focus on 26 years of life, leadership, and legacy. What basically 26 years of marriage for Dawn and I this week. It's crazy. She stuck around, so it's a good thing. And we're going to look back and kind of talk about the biggest realizations of just how long it's been, right? What have we done in 26 years? What have we accomplished in 26 years? What have we gone through? We've gone through, raising a family and building not building the business, raising a family, going through multiple corporate America jobs that we have all gone through, to the setbacks, to the failures, to starting a business and wins and change. So this week's kind of a special one for us.
It is very much.
Yep. And wow, I know. So what has it taught you, Dawn? What has the last 26 years taught you?
Wow. Well, first of all, it doesn't seem like it's been that long. I do love my husband as a
public forum. You actually said it.
As a husband, a father, a friend, a provider. I mean, all those words. And also as a business partner. And not only just love and respect and like and all those other things, is also a honest to goodness, like just grateful and for Rob and for our relationship as a married couple and as business partners, and being able to work together. And that, I know some of our customers do this and they do it very well.
Mm-hmm.
And some people are like, oh my gosh, I could not do that. It does take special people. You can't be the same. You have to be the yin and yang.
Yep.
And we just kind of wanted to share some of it with y'all. Our setbacks, our wins. Obviously, we raised Ethan throughout this whole thing. And, there's a lot. There's a lot to unpack. So where do you want to start?
There is. I know. It's been an amazing journey. Lucky to have you, obviously. Because if you go way, way back in the Wayback Machine, 26 years ago, when we met, we'll kind of dive through that, is basically unemployed. I had Taco Bell money and a fun car. And that was it.
Yes.
Remember? Yeah.
Yes.
That's class act right there.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Yeah. And I was changing careers. What I went to college for was no longer what I was doing. So, so it was a fun time and fun stuff going on. So.
Oh, yeah, it definitely was. And 26 years ago, you don't think about where you're going to be. Those days at that age, you're just like, what do we do today? What do you do for the weekend? What do you do for next week?
Yep.
And it's really, really about, you get in a relationship and you get married to start a life together, to death do us part, as it says. That's what the vows say.
Mm-hmm.
And that's what we're kind of dive into a little bit of just going through the last 26 years and understanding, how that has taught us to be better leaders and how to build a legacy for our family. And hopefully you get some nuggets as our podcast listeners to go build something for your family, either owning a business or doing something different. It's, something that can continue.
It's easy to go back and say, all right, 26 years ago, maybe we should have planned a little better. Maybe we should have started the business earlier. But let's be honest, like speed bumps and boulders and mountains get put in the way for a reason. Doors close for a reason. Multiple layoffs. I didn't get the promotion, so on and so forth. I'm never going to get out of debt. You just name it. Those are there for a reason. So I think when I look back 26 years, I do any different? No, because then we wouldn't be where we're at now, where we are focused forward with not only our family, but our business. And yes, we came from here. Everyone has a past, but we don't have to talk about the past. It's where we came from. It's what built us, where we are. But we don't have to go back and say, shoulda, coulda, woulda. We really focus forward. And I think that's really important when you're building a family, building a business. You need to, pick yourself back up. You fell over the speed bump, you tripped over whatever, pick yourself back up and just know that that happened for a reason. There is a purpose for doors closing and for speed bumps and things that are in the way, obstacles in the way. So,
Yeah. And it's very different instead of just building a life or building a life and not just chasing success, right? A lot of people do that. It says, well, we'll just combine resources and chase success. And it's actually, you're building a life together. You're building a family together. You're building a name together. You're building a brand together.
Yep.
And that's the great thing of marriage and how it all interweaves into family and interweaves into the business and then interweaves into, college one week to 26 years this week.
And you think it's all going to go a certain way.
Mm-hmm.
You think it's going to go a certain way. Rob and I are both climbing the corporate ladders. We didn't have Ethan till 8 years of marriage and realized that there was more to life than climbing the ladder, more to life than buying a lot of stuff because it's just stuff,
Yeah.
And we, of course, had traveled a lot as well, but there was more to life than that. And that's what sparked us to start a family. And thank God it was a blessing we were able to do that. But then, you continue and you're like, okay, what do we want this to look like? What do we want it to look like for our kid? Leaving him a legacy for him and his family and his grandkids. And that's really what this is about, and we're still building it. It's not done. We have lots more time. We have 26 plus more years.
It's going.
And so, but we've along the way taught Ethan that sure, you can go, do what you need to do and get the job or career, whatever, and strive for what you want, but also start your own thing. And he really is probably going to as well start his own business when he gets out of school. Because that's what he grew up with and that's what he knows and he sees the value of it. So it's different for everyone, but for us, like I said, I wouldn't change anything. Would you, Rob? Would you?
No. All the failures were meant to be there, and you fell forward. That's what you do. You don't fall backwards. You continue to keep going. You keep pushing.
I like that.
Keep
term.
driving.
Yeah.
And there's definitely more failures than successes. However you want to measure success, but you need the failures to get to that success, so that you can see where you've gone through and what you've done and who you are. But I think the biggest thing about leadership is understanding, and we've always heard the phrase of being self-aware, but I think you and I define it better is what roles we have, right? What is the role Don has? What is the role I have? What is the role the team has? What is the role the family has? What are the role the dogs have, right? So, I think what's helped in the marriage side that's transcended into the business is basically you have an integrator, right? You have an operations, which is definitely you. And then you have the visionary, which is definitely me. And we both bring our process and our roles and our vision together, and then we discuss them together and have one direction forward. Because I've had plenty of ideas that you would say, no, go do something different, or you'd have multiple ideas of how to launch something. We go, no, why don't we do that? And you stay in your lanes, but you merge together on the highway daily just to make sure we're on the same page. And I think that's definitely where we have become stronger, as not only is in our marriage, but also in the business.
Yeah, the one thing I'd say, the one book, that Traction, is it Traction?
Traction.
That book, I'll be honest, we've done coaching, we've done multiple coachings and groups and stuff like that. But I'll be honest, at the end of the day, knowing what your role is in your business, especially and most importantly, if you're in business with your spouse, is who's doing what and who's responsible for what and what title is it? I mean, it really, when we figured out that when we spelled it out, I'm the COO, I'm the integrator, and Rob's the visionary, it was like crystal clear from there. And so kind of moving forward with when you get employees and contractors and whatever you want to call them, part-time people or staff, or, have a staffing agency, is making sure that the people that you hire that work for your business, that they know what roles and responsibilities they have. This is very important. I mean, we all talk about HIPAA compliance and how we need to make sure the compliance officer, they know their roles and responsibilities. They have their, job descriptions. Everyone has a job description. This is very important because we've had people do roles that did not work out. And so you really have to be clear on who's doing what and who's got what strengths. So that's really important. But leadership wise, knowing what kind of leader you are, this is different than management. Knowing what kind of leader you are. I'm not talking a manager. That's a whole nother thing. That was really the key. And Rob and I already, we've always been blessed to have a very good relationship and that very good communication. And we can tell each other, yeah, no, we can disagree. We can agree to disagree. That, you've heard that term. And so it really comes over to the business. And once we designated, I'm the integrator and he's the visionary, that really got us to go to the next level. So that's really important. And leadership, you can, I think you are born a leader. I think you can learn the skills, but I do think it's inherent in some people and it's not in others. And so it's been really fun to watch our son Ethan because he definitely has obtained those leadership skills.
Mm-hmm.
And it's been really exciting to watch him lead in the things he does. So that's, and it's going to just be more and more, as he starts college.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
I think key too is making decisions when you disagree. I think there's been many, but there's a handful of times, I'm like, nope, we don't agree on that, but we're going to go forward. And usually, whichever way we go, it always comes out right.
Yeah.
It's something that you agree with, or I don't, or I do and you don't, or something like that. Like, all right, let's give it a try. And you've got to be able to jump out of that plane, build that parachute before you hit the ground.
Mm-hmm.
That's what I've always done because we built this from nothing. Just like our marriage started at meeting each other at a bar, basically, right? And
at a party.
At a party.
A garage party.
There was a bar at the party.
Yeah.
That's right.
There was.
Through friends.
Kids don't meet each other in bars anymore. This is going to be very interesting. I don't think that happens anymore. No. I don't know. But anyway.
Well, there wasn't any phones. Oh my God. Now we show our age, right? No phones.
Well, imagine if there was phones back then. I think all of us that grew up in the 80s would probably be pretty upset at what was out there. Yeah, mortified, maybe, is a better word.
Quarters in the ashtray so you can make phone calls at the payphone.
I know. Jeez.
But it's, building a marriage relationship in a marriage and then building a business is the same way. And, you don't keep scores in healthy relationships or partnerships. You're in it together. We moved to Texas going on 9 years ago. We just packed up the wagon and moved and left. Now, yes, we had a plan. You got to put your funds aside. You got to allocate and sell assets. You got to prepare things and then come out and go, okay, what are we going to do next? And what's the next step? But have a 5 year, that when we move is a 5-year plan of basically moving, and then finding where we want to live and then build. And then here we are. And just like we've built a relationship and a business and a home and homestead, it all ties in together. You have to build something together and then you're in it together. And because that's really true leadership. And that's how you leave a legacy, is building it together. And there's, Don's fingerprints and my fingerprints everywhere. And then now the team has their input and the team has their look and feel.
Yeah.
As well.
A fun test to a relationship is build a house together.
Oh, that was fun though.
It's fun, but our builder had a couple people that they were project managing for, and the couple's divorced over the choices of building a house. And I'm like, dear Lord, if you can't pick out a color that you both like or tile, you have bigger issues. I was like, that is crazy because and like I said, typically when you find the right person to be with the rest of your life, you have similar interests, similar color schemes, designs, that type of thing, architectural, desires and stuff. So, but yeah, that was really alarming. I was like, my goodness. So those people, I guess, weren't meant to be if they can't pick out carpet and tile. So so that's a fun test. So if you haven't done it, it is very fun to do.
It is fun to do. Those people had bigger issues than
before they had bigger issues. Fixtures. Yeah,
exactly.
Yeah, but in a business, I mean, same thing. colors, logos, what's your, website, all the marketing stuff, what services do we provide? I mean, all that kind of stuff. And believe me, we've tried stuff and it hasn't worked. So we just move on and we pivot. And that's also the fun part of owning a business is you can pivot quickly. And our team knows this very well. This isn't working. So we're going to go this way. We're going to try this. And so that you have to also be very adaptable. And Rob and I do that. We'll go on a car ride and we'll think of all these things. And the next day we change it. We change things because that's when we're thinking. We're stepping away.
Yeah, just step away.
So, yeah.
Or go have lunch. Doesn't have to be fancy. Just anything. Go get a Whataburger. I'm like, oh, look at that idea. Doesn't have to be, you get ideas at any location.
Doesn't have to be fancy dinner, although those are nice.
Well, it is anniversary week, so I'm going to, here's your once a year.
Yeah.
Take you out for the nice dinner.
Yeah.
And it's a Wednesday. Is it a Wednesday? It is a Wednesday.
It is a Wednesday.
Yeah, Wednesday.
Wow. Middle of the week. Wow.
I know.
Yeah. That's nice. Middle of the week.
There you go. Something fun.
Yeah. Right? There we go. Yeah.
I think also, one thing is people always talk about playing the long game. And I think you and I, when we got married, we talked about what I like to call the infinite game. It's not just, 26 years of marriage. It's beyond that. It's the name engraved in stone, if you will. It is a business that will outlive us. It's a business that will outlive Ethan. That name will continue for generations. I think of the Night Watchman painting from Rembrandt sitting there in Amsterdam. I'm like, that thing's been there since the 1500s. That's legacy. That's what you want. We're 26 years down the road. So now we have, 700-800 more years left for it to continue. But it's really, playing that, remembering that the little decisions today will help guide you for generations to come. And you will take different directions and you will you'll have mistakes here and there.
Yeah.
Different
seasons.
Different seasons. Yeah. The seasons are fun though.
Yeah.
Yeah. I like the different seasons. So now there's Ethan's at college. There's another season. So now Dawn's got to deal with me more. And
look out. We're going to create a whole bunch of stuff. Van Ryn
now.
Widgets. I don't know. We're
We like her widget, but it's definitely creating more, to get more creation time. But also a lot of people always say, well, you're empty nesters. And I don't like that phrase because I don't really
either.
think of that.
Let's come up with something better than that.
Yeah, it's not an empty nester. It's just a new season. It's a new chapter.
Yeah.
It's a new chapter. There's still, it's the only empty part of it is the fridge now because we don't buy any food.
I know. My HEB bill's gone way down already.
It's true. But it's really a new season.
Yeah. And be present in every season. Because I don't know, as a parent, I think every age was wonderful. Some people are like, oh, I hate the toddler stages, or, oh, I hated teenage stages. I think every season has been great. Sure, they're hard. There's challenges to every age, right? But just be present in every season you're in. Whether you have kids, whether you don't, whether you're married, whether you're not, whether you have a business, whether you don't, you maybe just work for someone, that's fine. Just be present and just live life to the fullest. And I always hate to see people that are just not happy. When you're chasing after money and you're chasing after a promotion, a lot of times that leads to unhappiness. And it's not all about that. Do you really need that? Do you really, what's your goal? Just have the end in mind and just really cherish every moment because it goes fast. Before you know it, you may have wasted 20 years at some company working for someone else and that you were treated bad and you never, I don't know. Maybe there's something that you have a dream to do this or change careers or something. And, I do know that sometimes you can't. You're not able to do it. Maybe it's the wrong time, but sometimes you just have to jump to and make the time and just do it. So, just always be in the moment and try to look forward and not oh, I wish this and that. Because if you'll get stuck in that, and just really just look forward and just really think about what do I want to leave? What's my legacy? Both Rob and I have had people leave this world and it's kind of been sad that their legacy wasn't they didn't really plan and it hurt the family, hurt friends. It's hurt families. It's, and I think just planning, and it's not about leaving a bunch of money. It's about really leaving the legacy of that family, of that generation,
Yeah. It's what you leave in them, right?
Yeah.
It's not about properties or money
Yeah.
or cars or silverware or
Right.
whatever.
China. Yeah.
China.
Yeah.
I don't know if that's a thing anymore.
Yeah. I don't know. Yeah.
But it's what you leave in them. It's the
Yeah.
stories. You know, it's
Yeah.
like because both of our parents, you wasn't much, and that probably helped us fuel our own desire to build our own little empire. But you remember the lessons of how to love and how to drive and how to be entrepreneurial and how to be a visionary and how to organize things and how to set up a home and how to work together in a marriage. Those are the things that you
Yeah.
want your kiddos and yourself to learn.
Yeah.
And that's what you want your team members to think about too, and what they know about working with you.
Yep. And if your kids and your team members, staff know, what your vision is and they believe in it, and you show them that this is where we're going and this is how we're going to do it, then they're going to be so motivated and they're going to be jazzed to be part of it, And it's just it's exciting to watch. And, watch your kids, watch your staff get excited about some things. Oh, this is great. I can be here for longer than I thought, or I can do these things, or I can, next year I can, my role can change to this, or whatever it is, or your kid, I'm going to get out of college and I'm going to do this. And it's just fun to watch all these seasons. But you just have to be, like I said, be present in the moment and really look forward. And what do you want? What do you want to show for it? Like, what legacy do you want to leave? Like, what does Van Ryn want to leave? What is our son Ethan going to leave? What are we going to leave him? What do we, it's just, it's really fun to think about. It can be heavy at times, but if we just keep looking forward and just take all the ups and downs and just roll with it.
Yep.
It's going to be great.
Yep. That's the best part is enjoy the seasons, enjoy the ups
Yep.
and the downs. Right.
Yep.
And there's not many downs. But some of those downs are important because it helps you build the mountain. It helps you get from the plateau to the next phase. It helps get you where you need to be and be able to continue for the next 26 years.
Yeah, 26 years from now.
I know. What are you going to say?
That's hard to think about. But it's funny because you think about 26 years and it just doesn't seem like it's been that long. And then you think, oh, another 26, that's not a big deal. Like it, and so yeah. So I look forward to it. Look forward to the next 26 years.
Oh, it's going to be great.
Yeah. Yeah. Maybe we'll see flying cars, which we thought we already would, but I think maybe we're getting there. Possibly.
Well, maybe. Technology is going to definitely change in 26 years.
Yeah.
Hopefully
Absolutely.
devices are gone and we'll actually talk to people again. I think that's one thing you talked about being present earlier is I think that's what's been key in our marriage and in the business is be present, right? When you're with the team, be present. When you're having dinner together or just a simple having breakfast tacos, doesn't matter. Be present. And I really think about that as, we had took a trip this year overseas and I noticed cultures are very different. Here in America, I think people are bored. I think they're yearning for something and they're always in the phone and they're not there looking at who's across the table for them and being present. When we went on our travels this year, majority of people outside the States, I would say 90%, phones are in the pocket, enjoying. I saw a lot of old cameras again, just enjoying the day, having some coffee, having some tea, having a wonderful 2-hour lunch, relaxing, talking, enjoying. And that's what's important. Now, we have a very fast-paced society. Look where we've gotten in 250 years, more than any other country. But make sure to enjoy the day. Make sure to enjoy every moment and slow down a little bit.
And your kids will be fine without a phone. Ethan's senior year of high school, Texas banned cell phones during the day.
It was great.
They couldn't take them out. And all the kids were like, it's great because I actually get stuff done. I get my homework done. So during the day, so I don't have to take it home.
Yep.
And it was like,
yes.
It's actually okay. But yeah, it is kind of sad. Every restaurant, we've been to some expensive restaurants. We've been to some fast food. Everyone's in their phone, or let's give the kid an iPad at the phone so the parents can talk. It's really sad. Over in Europe, they don't do that. I'm sure there's different countries that do, but it's just not as prevalent. And I think that we just rely on that. And I think it is. I think it is a sense of boredom. And I think it's just look around, take it in, take in the season you're in. Mm-hmm. And cherish the moments and what's around you and the sky, the birds, whatever, instead of just scrolling for, I don't know what, So yeah, that is it's kind of sad, that we have become that. But
Yeah.
yeah, just take it all in. Just,
And I think, working
for the
remotely
day.
like we all do,
Yeah.
majority of even all our clients are all remote, you have to be very intentional when you're remote. To look at the camera, you have to, show your hands here and there, be
Yeah.
present. You're not sitting in a conference room anymore.
Yeah.
But make sure people know that you're paying attention, and then you're having that conversation, and then that you're connected, which is really important. Which is drastically important to make sure you're dialed in.
Yep.
Because
Absolutely.
that's when you're dialed in together, that's how you build 26-year marriage. That's how you build, and you build and fail at some businesses, and then you finally get the right one. I think Van Ryan is he had 4 before, 5 little odds and ends, and we're like, that didn't work.
Yep.
But you learn. You
Yep.
learn, and you can always
You
start.
do.
It's still, there's still as many flaws as America has. It's still the greatest country to start anything you want.
It
It
is.
doesn't, you don't even have to have
Yeah.
any money to really start an idea, and just go build. So, and I
Absolutely.
think that's our little nuggets of knowledge with Rob and Dawn. Look at that. What is your nugget of knowledge, Dawn, for successful marriage and business?
Just be present, where your feet are, and enjoy each other, enjoy the time, and it's okay to disagree, but just enjoy the time and plan out, trips and experiences, I think, are great. You don't need to buy a bunch of stuff, just experience other cultures, experience other
T-shirts.
experience other parts of where you live. Go to the next town over. Yeah, go to the next town over. Go to like a different Chick-fil-A. I don't know. I mean, seriously, like go to different places and take a ride. Take a drive. Do things like that. You don't have to do something, always do something fancy and spend a bunch of money. You can just
Picnics.
simple things. Just enjoy, each other, and just have some time to think. Let your brain wander,
Let
and
your
I think
brain
that's
wander.
yeah. I think that's really the key. It's just, I mean, marriage doesn't have to be hard.
Mm-mm.
If you got the right person, and business the same way, you got the right business. Yes, you're going to go through things. You're going to go through setbacks. That's all part of it. It's part of life.
Yep.
Life wasn't supposed to be easy, but if you have the right person, you've got the right product or service you're selling, it comes together, and it works out. And just be positive, and look forward, and identify when maybe something needs to change. Hey, this isn't working. Because what happens when you do the same thing over and over? You get the same result. So change it.
Change it. Yeah.
Yeah.
That's definitely good.
But also it takes work too.
Oh yeah.
It's not easy. It takes work, but it shouldn't be like grueling work, and listen to each other. Listen to what your customers are saying, and just so you can do better, and move things forward, and to have a better relationship, a better business, be a better parent, all those things. So
yeah, I think my nugget of knowledge, I think, is the working together, but also knowing if one of us is an 80-20 day, like my dad always said, right? If one of us is at 80%, 90%, we're doing well, and the other person's low on energy or low on focus or low on drive, and we all get that way. You be the 80% to raise up the other one, your teammate, right? Your spouse, that's a 20%, and then you work together.
Absolutely.
Do little extra things. If there's if you're down, then hey, you're gonna get some flowers, because I never do anything wrong. Ish. So, but it's about doing these little things and just loving each other, and then loving the team, and then growing not only yourself but the others as well. I think those are the key pieces, and that's kind of what we've seen be successful in our life and in our marriage.
Yep.
So
absolutely.
So for another 26, Dawn, you want to sign up?
Yeah. Another 26. Contract? Yep. Here's to another 26.
Or the first contract.
Yep.
No. Well, to another 26, my love.
Yep. Absolutely.
All right.
Here we go.
There we go. On to the next 26. Thank you all for joining us at this special episode of Van Ryan Compliance. I'm Rob.
And I'm Dawn.
And have a great week. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.